ஓம். பெருங்கருணை பேரருளால் அன்னை பராசக்தி அருளினேன் சத்தியத்தை. இந்த ஒரு சத்தியத்தை உடனடியாய் புரிந்து கொண்டு உங்களுக்கும் உலகத்துக்கும் நன்மை செய்து கொள்ளுங்கள். ஆதி கைலாசத்து நித்யானந்த லிங்கத்தின் எல்லைக்குள் ஆருக்கும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்று தீண்டாது. இந்த சத்தியத்தை அனுபவபூர்வமாகவும் அறிவியற்பூர்வமாகவும் முழுமையாக நீங்கள் புரிந்து கொள்வீர்கள். இது நிரூபணமாகும். அன்னை பராசக்தி 12 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு முன்பாக உள்ள ஞான ஔஷத சக்திகள் அனைத்தையும் பிரம்மாண்ட யோனி ஹிரண்ய கர்ப்பத்திலிருந்து கொண்டு வந்து உருவாக்கி வைத்த நவபாஷாண லிங்கம் இன்று பிரளயத்திலிருந்து காக்கும் பெரும் கப்பலாய் உங்களுக்கு ஊதாவும். என இழந்தாலும் நான் செய்து வைத்த இந்த ரசவாத ஞானத்தின் துணை இழக்காமல் உங்களை நீங்களே காத்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். இது ஒன்றே வழி மக்களே, இது ஒன்றே வழி. ஓம் 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 ஓம்.
Look at what Devi revealed in English. Even if children do mistakes in ignorance by getting stuck in Maya, as it is Parashakti, Paramashakti, Parashakti, Manonmani, my responsibility to save the cosmos from destruction. I am telling some of the truth. Listen properly. Within the next few months, not in thousands or lakhs, lives will be lost in crores. Crores of lives will be lost in India. I am telling you the truth. I am telling you the good. Search for protection for your life. And here you can see that as they be revealed, many bodies have been found in Ganga. And many bodies have been found uncovered, and dead. These dead bodies have been eaten by dogs that have gathered and feasted on the remains. And while India is reeling under a massive second wave of COVID-19, the pandemic, the number of deaths also increased such that the situation in crematoriums and burial grounds are packed to capacity. And unfortunately, because of this, many people are not able to properly cremate their loved ones. And literally, dead bodies are burning in the streets. The streets are literally becoming crematoriums. Dead bodies have been found dumped in the Ganga, and these bodies have been washed further down and could be eaten by stray dogs, and these bodies are said to be affected by COVID-19. And as Devi has revealed again and again, protect yourself during this pandemic. Continuously, Devi has been telling us to make protecting our lives as the first priority. That is the only priority this year. So continuously, Devi has been guiding us, blessing us, and literally holding our hand through this pandemic, giving us solutions and understanding. It Devi has literally been with us through this whole pralaya. So if you would like to show your gratitude for Devi's happening in your life, for all of the blessings that you've received, then stay tuned for the next segment. For now, we will be concluding this segment and taking a very short break. We will be right back with the offerings that we took to Devi Parashakti shortly.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all the viewers. Now let us take a few quick moments and we'll begin the offerings to Devi Parashakti. I requested those slides can be projected now. I hope each and every one of you has been enjoying today's program and you have been understanding the various different powerful cognitions of Devi Parashakti, and you have been understanding, finding out more and more about who is Devi Parashakti and what her revelations have been for the last 4 months, as Devi Parashakti has been literally guiding us, blessing each and every one of us, hand-holding us, taking care and attending each and every one of us, and giving us so many boons, granting whatever we want, and revealing our past, present, and future, and so much more. So now let us enter into the next segment we have today, which is the offerings to Devi Parashakti. Let's get started. The offerings are all about gratitude in our life. And this might be a completely new concept for each and every one of you, or for some of you who might not know, but who always wanted to express this one quality that goes beyond all emotions, gratitude. And an offering is only out of pure love and gratitude. And often we misunderstand, misconstrue what is gratitude and what is pure love, what is compassion. We actually cannot cognize these divine emotions and these divine sentiments just with our pure logic. It goes beyond logic, and it goes into a mere factor of surrender towards existence and the universe as a whole, surrendering, being in oneness and experiencing that divine sacred space. Actually, there's a beautiful story which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had narrated in the book called Guaranteed Solutions on the chapter From Discontentment to Gratitude. And the story goes that all of the scientists of the world and God were researching about how to do different research and development. And they saw that whatever God had made, whether it is a machine or whether it is plants and animals, whatever it is, the scientists were able to reproduce that just from their own knowledge. And they were trying to argue and throw a challenge at God that they could reproduce anything that God can produce. And so, in order to reciprocate this, God simply out of his own dust made man. And the scientists began to do the same. They started to collect all the dust that was at the feet of God. But then he said, wait, no, use your dust, not my dust. As you can see, often we forget that existence is the one who is taking care of everything for us. And gratitude is our natural disposition. It's our natural tendency. But we move away from that over the course of so much of pain, grievances over our lifetime. And we don't feel gratitude for even the basic things, even our very life. And these offerings are an expression of pure gratitude and manifesting, cherishing gratitude within inside of us. Because in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we recognize that gratitude is the utmost emotion that you can feel, and that should be cherished more so than any other emotion, more so than love itself. That is why we have this beautiful science of ritualistic sevas and of worship. And in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the rituals have supreme significance. We always acknowledge first in all offerings that cosmic energy exists. That is the first declaration that we make upon making an offering. And then we recognize the Nithyanandeshwara, Nithyanandeshwari, Devi Paramashiva and Parashakti, and the Guru, the supreme concept of Hinduism, are representations of that very cosmic energy. And then we recognize that whatever we offer during these rituals to the cosmic, to the representations, reaches that cosmic energy directly. And finally, the most important, whenever we pray, we always declare Soham Asmi, that even when we pray, we are God. Such a beautiful sacred sentiment that in fact the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself mandated that and guided that before we are doing any puja or any ritual, these declarations are made in any ritual that is done from the Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalaya. And having made this declaration is an important aspect of why we are making offerings, ultimately to experience oneness with the divine and express the highest of bodily emotions, which is gratitude. So if you are watching this right now, understand that there's no coincidence, and you can take part of this grand lila of the avatar through these offerings and simply offer your gratitude in order to attain the ultimate purpose of enlightenment. Now, before entering into the next segment, the segment of all of the different offerings, we have so many, we have 9 different offerings that you can do, and each one has so much of significance, profound significance, that you can talk about on and on and on, and understand the significance, the context behind it, the sacred sentiment, and literally swim in that pool of pure knowledge. Before we are entering into that segment in today's program, let us now chant the Dhyana Shloka of Devi Manonmani. Indu nivabeda karavahni nayanam syat pankajavara japaksha sarayuktam angahimabhushana vichitravasanam syat tungamakutojvala manonmani swarupam. Yes. Now, the English translation, for those of you who might not understand Sanskrit, which is most of us actually. Moon-like face, holding the Vedas on hand, fire in eyes, with lotus flower, gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with the Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments and wonderful clothes and shining bright crown. Her name is Manonmani. And once again, this is from the Moolagama, one of the very sacred scriptures of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Yes, now let's chant the next Dhyana Shloka. If you can chant along with me. If you want to, you can simply just sit in a space of receptivity while we are chanting these mantras, and any of these mantras that we are going to be chanting in the following segment as we are going on. Dhyaye devim trinetram shashini bhavadanam vedahastam dadanam Savye padmam varadam aparechabhayam chakshamalam Divyeravaranair vibhushitatanam brahmadi pujitam Devimeva manunmanim pratidanam kamatradatrim shubham. Yes, the next slide, please. And the English translation now. I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes glowing like the moon and holding the Veda, lotus and gracing and blessing and gracing hand. She is wearing beautiful ornaments and she is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. Yes. So now, having invoked and invited the presence of Devi Parashakti, let us enter into more and more of the context of today's offerings. Now we'll be peeling layer by layer of the different significance, this different sacred sentiment for these offerings and what you will be able to cherish in your life. Seems like we've gone to the last slide. Can we zoom back? So let us first understand the significance of the element gold. Gold, as we know it in our day and age, among normal human beings in society, as it is normally, has social value and it has economic value. The economic value might be the fact that it is, in fact, a precious metal. It has a lot of currency value, which is associated with it, and it is just worth a lot of money when it comes down to it. And the social value, it always gives value in our relationship. For example, on Mother's Day, on Father's Day, on different birthdays, we always offer gold gifts. And that's because we use it to give social value. And even there's the gold medal and the golden trophy. All of these are the highest pedestal that we use gold to symbolize. And we use it in gifts, we use it in our relationships. It has, in this way, a social value. Gold has a social value, but often we do not understand the sacred value behind gold, its divine qualities. In fact, if we go to the previous slide, there is a verse from the Atharva Veda, and this verse shows us that the Vedic rishis understood the sacred value of gold, its virtuous powers, and its properties that can literally make you transcend from man to superhuman. And that's why we considered gold as a divine element. We recognize it for its spiritual qualities of transferring enlightenment energy and healing energy. And we also understood that gold should be distributed across everything and everyone. That's why gold is present in all the scriptures, Agamas, Vedas, Shrutis, the Smritis, the Itihasas and Puranas, and also everything was built in gold and exchanged in gold, and even ritual fees were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. And gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. And kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways made of gold. And horses and cows, elephants, all of the different animals in our society living within our civilization were revered as embodiments of the divine and also dressed and adorned in gold. And as you see, the Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. In fact, the Indus River was called the Hiranyamaya, or the river of gold, in the Rig Veda, and the river Saraswati was called the Hiranyavartani in the Atharva Veda. So gold is a supreme element that has spiritual value, not just social or economic value. And temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy forever. And literally, it lasts for thousands of years. In fact, even the gold which was offered while Meenakshi Devi, the incarnation of Devi Parashakti, Queen Meenakshi, and the sovereign divine ruler of the Hindu civilization, while she was in the body, still today, those jewels are offered to Devi Parashakti in her deity form, and they are still used and revered as sacred. So whatever you offer today, these different elements of gold is basically immortalized forever. And that is the ultimate significance of the verse that we had just understood from the Atharva Veda, that it has eternal and eternal properties and has so much that can last for so long, so much of power that can last so long. Yes. So now we have understood what is the significance behind gold. Now let's understand the Ihundi, the first offering, which is the Ihundi offering. And we're going to go into the array of offerings that we have for you to be able to do today. So here we have a verse from the Lalita Sahasranama that I'll now be chanting. Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharada Radhya, Sharvani Sharmadayini. The English translation says, Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fears. Yes. So this offering is the offering of true devotion. And once again, gratitude in our life. Another beautiful story that Swamiji had told in the book Guaranteed Solutions, from the chapter From Content to Gratitude. He said that one day a husband was going to shop for his wife for different vegetables, and he carefully went and picked out the lady's finger and brought it home. His wife said, no, these are too thick. I cannot do anything with these. This is not for the dish that I want. So then the next day he went back. He then carefully chose all of the vegetables that she would want as per what he thought. And then he went back. But then she again said, no, these are not good at all. These are too long for the dish that I have planned today. And then the husband again went back. Then he asked the shopkeeper, can you please pick out the vegetables that my wife wants? I'm not able to do it for her. And then again, the shopkeeper himself gives the best quality vegetables, and the husband goes back to his wife, and she then says, why have you bought the same vegetables again and again for the last 3 days? We understand that our mind is never contented. Only if we choose that we should be contented in our lives, only then we can be contented. But if we constantly choose discontentment, not being satisfied, then honestly, nobody can help us. Nobody can raise us how we want to be raised. What we can do is be in a state of gratitude and be in a state of devotion in our life. And Devi Parashakti, out of her grace, her compassion, has literally manifested through the supreme font of Hinduism and is completely every single day giving each and every one of us the revelations of the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, revealing the past, present, and future, granting us boons, healing us. And for this, for just making herself available, each and every one of us, especially Hindus and especially Kailashians, should be forever grateful and understanding that Devi Parashakti will simply give without asking for anything in return. If there's any fear in our minds, Devi Parashakti is sure to remove that fear. And it is stated actually that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here it is not meant the autumn of our lives, but when thoughts turn more and more inwards, the role of the divine known and understood clearly, and the need of Devi Parashakti. And it's at this time that if we worship Devi, we can simply be rid of all of our fears and live in a space of gratitude. This is something, an offering that you can make very easily. And at the end of this segment, we'll be going over how you can make the exact payments if you're wondering, and if you have any questions about it. So stay tuned until the end of the segment for any of these offerings. Yes, now let's go on. Now, next we have the Sankalpa chanting. The Sankalpa chanting is another very profound a very profound offering. And the Sankalpa is actually a mantra that is offered before any ritual. And it's in fact an offering in itself. It can be removed from the offerings, from any of the offerings, and offered by itself as a way to manifest what you want into reality. And there's a beautiful verse here from Devyam chapter 12, verse 34, which I'll now be chanting. Tayetam, sorry, if we can go back. Yeah. Tayetam mohate vishvam shaiva vishvam prasuyate saya chitta cha vijanam tushta rudim prayajati. And the English translation says, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That God is being prayed without interest in anything, gives the knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. The Devi Mahatmyam is a glorification. It's literally a chapter upon chapter of the glories of the goddess. And in it, it says so many different times that Devi Parashakti gives without being asked for anything, without any conditions, and without interest or vested interest in what she wants from you. There's nothing like that. Devi Parashakti is a cosmic feminine energy which literally flows. And there can be no question of her asking for anything in return, or her having any conditions for your love or your gratitude. Simply, she is flowing as the entire existence itself. She enchants this entire universe, as this verse says, and she is the one whom you can pray, and simply your wishes, your sankalpa will be granted. And not only this, the science behind prayer is very much known in even scientific research and many researches that have been going on. The science of sacred Sanskrit chants has been researched and developed in several different thought currents in several different fields, especially in trying to understand the quantum physics and trying to understand more and more about our universe and the reality of our universe. Scientists are still yet to grasp it, but Vedic rishis understood that there was a huge significance behind creating space, the creation of space, the chanting of these powerful vibrations, and doing the chanting and making a conscious resolution inside of us. And offering this sankalpa, the conscious resolution, blesses the person with the fruition of the desires and the wishes which you are yearning for. Yes, we can go on now. We can go on. The next offering we have is the Sahasranama Kastu. And in the Lalita Sahasranama, we actually see the verse where Devi Parashakti is described as Nama Parayana Prita, as you can see here. And this next offering is the offering of 1008 names of Devi Parashakti. It's a very special and unique archana offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. You can offer a gold coin inscribed with each and every one of these 1008 names and receive the blessings to have the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, all the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti. Yes, we can go on. Then the next offering is the Mukta Anguti, or the finger ring with a pearl. And now let me chant the verse here about the finger ring with the pearl and the significance of Parashakti. मुक्ताहारणलसत्किरीटरुचिरां पूर्णेन्दुवक्त्रप्रभां शिञ्झन्नूपुरि किङ्किणीमणिधरां पद्मप्रभावासुरां सर्वाभीतफलप्रदां गिरिसुतां वाणी रमासेवितां मीनाक्षीं प्रणतोऽस्मि सन्ततमहं कारुण्यवारां निधिम्. And it says, I bow down to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of a lotus and who grants all wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddess Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. Yes. So you can offer this finger ring with a pearl to the Devi Parashakti, who is the embodiment of compassion, the pearl being the symbol of compassion itself. And by her and you can receive the blessings of her compassion and pure love in all your business endeavors. Yes, the next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpam. And we have the verse from the Kamikagama, which says that all the kalashas should be wound around with suitable thread and covered with new cloth. They should be adorned with a lotus flower made of gold. And there's so many different verses for the lotus flower. And there's so many different scriptures and references where it is used in the worship of the ultimate. And it involves the consecration of deities of worship. And not only that, it's also in all of the arts and architecture of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Because once again, whatever we considered as divine in Hindu civilization, we applied it in all different aspects. And the lotus, of course, is considered as a divine flower. In fact, the Shakti of Paramashiva is called as a lotus, and the base of the Paramashiva Linga is also considered as a lotus. So you can offer this golden lotus in any size which you wish and be blessed to have the state, space, powers, and being of Devi Parashakti in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situation in your life. The next offering we have is the Swarna Meti. And today the toe ring itself might have a lot of references in popular culture and might be used by modern day fashion models and so on and so forth. But this actual piece of jewelry has reference in the oldest scriptures and actually has, once again, sacred value, not just social value. In fact, here is a verse from the Saundarya Lahari, more than 2,000-year-old scripture